Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Be Quranic. Today is Tuesday, the 18th of Ramadan, 1446. Tuesday means it is going to be Tajweed Tuesday. We are going to look at the Tajweed rules from the ayats of the week that we recited on Sunday. But before we go into the ayat of the week and dissecting its Tajweed rules, we're going to look into some Tajweed rules that we're going to learn this week. Now, a quick recap of what we've done with Tajweed Tuesdays. We started with the definition of Tajweed. It means to purify our recitation through knowing the rules of the letters, what happens when a letter meets this letter, a letter joins with this letter, and the points of waqaf, where to stop and how to restart your recitation. But for the purposes of Tajweed Tuesday, our focus is on the first part. It's knowing the rules of the letters, not so much on the points of waqaf. We will not be covering that. We've also briefly spoken about the two types of errors. You've got the error, major error, lahan jali, and minor error, lahan khafi. Major error, lahan jali, major errors are the type of errors that changes the meaning of what you're reciting, while khafi affects the beauty but not the meaning of what you are reciting. And we've looked into the first and the most important of the Tajweed rules, because this changes the meaning if you mess it up. It is mad asli, the foundational elongation. The vowels in Arabic can either be short, or elongated, ma. All right, so that's mad asli, the foundational, and the three letters are alif, waw, and ya. The formula is nuhiha. Then we've looked into wajibul ghunna. There are two letters of ghunna, sound that comes from the nasal cavity, the sound. All right, there are noon and meme. Wajibul ghunna becomes when noon and meme has a shadda, noon or meme mushaddada. It becomes inna, or thumma. Two harakat of that, you hold that sound. These are the only two letters that will have the ghunna sound, or the nasal sound. No other letters carries the nasal sound. And then we've looked into noon sakin and tanween. We've briefly explained that noon sakin and tanween essentially are the same things, because in a tanween there is a hidden noon sakin. When you say tan, ta fathatan, tan, this sound at the end, that's a noon sakin sound. So if you're using the Medina Mus'haf, the noon sakin is written either noon with an apparent noon sakin, or with a non-apparent noon sakin. On top of the noon, there is just no signages or anything on top of it. It's just empty. That's a noon sakin as well, non-apparent noon sakin. Or it could be written with a small meme. If it's a small meme, it is iqlab, and this is the rule that we've looked into yesterday. If it's last week, it's not yesterday, it was last week. The noon sakin with the apparent sukoon, you can see the sukoon means you read it clear. It's called idhar halqi. What if you're not using the Medina Mus'haf? Then you need to know the letters. What are the letters of idhar? Idhar are throat letters: hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, and kha. So noon sakin meets any of these six letters, becomes idhar, where you read it without any ghunna. Man amana. It's not man amana, no, it's man amana. All right. Now, non-apparent nun sakin, you can divide it into two. If you don't see the sukoon sign on top of the nun sakin, or you don't see a meme sign, which is iqlab, then it's either idgham or ikhfa. Idgham, it's a full merger. Literally, idgham means annihilation. It annihilates the sound of the noon. And the letters are yarmalun. And we've looked into examples last week from idgham. So what are the letters? Ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, and noon. And idgham can be further divided into two, either bi ghunnah or bila ghunnah. Bi ghunnah means with tajweed, with ghunnah. Bila ghunnah means without ghunnah. Bi ghunnah, ya, waw, mim, noon. Bila ghunnah, lam, and ra. We are going to point out these examples again from when we are reading the ayat of the week. For now, we're just going to quickly go through a recap. All right, that's as far as what we've done in the past few weeks, 5 weeks. This is week 6. Now, this week we're going to look at Ikhfa. Ikhfa is the largest of the Nun Sakin rule. Ikhfa is literally, it means hidden. But when you read it, it's easy to imagine if idgham is a full merger, and a full merger means the sound of the Nun disappears altogether. Alright, let's find an example from Surah Al-Rahman. So you have here فَيَوْمَئِذٍ لَا. It's not, the focus is on the dhal there. Dhilla. It's not dhinla or dhin. No, that's like a partial merger. The noon sound disappears. Dhilla. And because tanween means a lam, and lam is bila ghunna. Idgham bila ghunna. There is no ghunna. Dhilla. Alright, now let's find an example of idgham bi ghunna. Ayah 11. فيها فاكهة والنخل فاكهة والنخل. Now if it's, because it is idgham and this is idgham bi ghunna, you read it فاكهة فاكهة والنخل. The sound of the nun فاكهة, the n at the end disappears, fully merged into waw. فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام. Right, so that is idgham. So if it is not yarmalun, and you see the nun sakin is a merging nun sakin or a merging tanween, you read it with half merger, you read it ikhfa. Why? How do you read ikhfa? Alright, let's look at this one. Example here. وَنُحَاسٌ فَلَا. Sun fala. So sun fala is you're reading an idhar, which is not correct because this is ikhfa. You've got a tanween meeting a fa. Fa is not one of the letters of the throat, and fa is also not yarmalun. Fa is also not ba. So it has to be ikhfa. Ikhfa is easy. If it's not idgham, it's not iqlab, it's not idhar, it has to be ikhfa. If you're using the Medina Mus'haf, it's even easier. You see a 99 dhammatain, as opposed to a 69 dhammatain. You see a 99, you know that it is merging. It's either ikhfa or idgham. The next letter is not yarmalun, it has to be ikhfa. It's hard for you to remember all the ikhfa letters because they're just plenty, because there are 14 of them. But it's easier to just do a process of elimination. It's not idgham, it's ikhfa. It's not yarmalun, it's ikhfa. So, how do you read sun fala? Sun fala. You read it, how do you pronounce the letter fa? Af, af, af. Alright, that's how you pronounce fa. Try and read the nun sakin through that shape. Af. So, sun fala wa nuhasun fala. So it's not nuhasun. That's going to be idhar. If it's idgham, nuhasuf fala. So it is in between idhar and idgham. You have the nun sakin sound a little bit, but your mouth is shaped fa. Nuhasun fala. Alright, let's look at the next example here. Fala tasiran. Nun sakin, nothing on top of it. That means it is a merging nun sakin and meeting a ta after it. And ta is not yarmalun, not ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, or nun. How do you pronounce it? At. Ta is at. At. So at, that's where you place your tongue. Is touching the central incisors, the base of your central incisors. At. Alright. Tasiran. Tasiran. If you were to read it with idhar, it will become tasiran. Tasiran. If you read it with idgham, it becomes tasiran, because the noon sound just disappears. In this case, the noon sound is still there. Tasiran. At. Okay, that's where your tongue is. Tasiran. Alright, we're going to look at one last example, and then we're going to the ayat of the week, an exciting ayat of the week. فَإِذَا انشَقَّ. How do you do this? Sheen is ash. Ash. Alright, now remember that placement. Shh. فَإِذَا انشَقَّ. فَإِذَا انشَقَّ. فإذا انشق. Alright, quick recap now. We have idgham, ikhfa. If it's yarmalun, it's a full merger, the sound of the nun sakin disappears altogether, go straight to the next letter. If it's ikhfa, it's a half merger. Shape your mouth to pronounce the letter fa, kaf, qaf, ta, tha, sheen, sin, dal, dhal, zay. Shape your mouth there as, but then read through the nun sakin, and that's why it's called ikhfa. Ikhfa literally means to hide. You're hiding the nun sakin behind the letter that is coming. Let's look at our ayat of the week and see what tajweed rules we can unfold in the ayat from 46 to 55. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَلِمَنْ خَافَ مَنْ خَافَ. Look at the nun sakin. You see the sukun sign. That means it is an apparent nun sakin. And it is idhar. Because kha is part of the letters of the throat. وَلِمَنْ خَافَ. خَافَ مَنْ أصلي. مَقَامَ قَا مَنْ أصلي. رَبِّهِ رَبِّهِ. Ha, here you see the small ya. You read it with two harakat. جنتان واجب الغنة جنتان تان, that is منعار للسكون. We are going to read it with four حركات. ولمن خاف مقام ربه جنتان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان ذواتا ذوا ومن أصلي to حركات تا. You see this wavy sound, you read it with four حركات. This is a long mad. ذواتا أفنان أفنان من عارض السكون, also four حركات. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما في من أصلي ما من أصلي عينان نا من أصلي تج ج. تج is القلة. You bounce the letter. There are 5 letters that you bounce. قاف طا با جيم دال. تج تجريان. يان is من عارض للسكون. So فيهما عينان تجريان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان فيهما من في من أصلي ما من أصلي فيهما من. Alright, now this is the tajweed of the week. Look at the nun sakin. There is no sign on top of it. That means you know that it's merging. It's going to be merging with the next letter kaf. Kaf is not yarmalun. Therefore kaf is ikhfa. Ikhfa. Ak. Min kulli. Min kulli. Alright. Now, kaf must be differentiated with a qaf ikhfa. Qaf ikhfa aqqa. The back of your tongue, you can feel the back of your tongue is actually lifted. Aqqa. So, if it's qaf, min qa. Min qa. If it's kaf, minku. Min. So the back of your tongue should not be lifted because this is a kaf and not a qaf. You're preparing to pronounce the letter kaf. Ak. Ak. Remember that position? Ak. Min kulli fakihatin. Fa is manasli. Fakihatin. Now look at this tanween. The tanween is non-aligned tanween. And it's meeting a zay. That means it's a merging tanween. The next letter is zay, and zay is not yarmalun. Therefore it is ikhfa. How do you do it? Az. Alright? Az. Tin zawjan. Tin zawjan. فيهما من كل فاكهة زوجان. جان من على السكون. فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان متكئين. إينا, that is, it's not mad asli, it's actually, technically it's called mad badal. But for our purposes, we haven't learned mad badal yet. It is treated as mad asli. You read it with 2 harakat. متكئين على لا مad asli. Furushim. Now look at this small meme here. This is small meme with a long tail. And after that is ba. What is this? Small meme with ba. It is iqlab. How do you read it? It's a replacement. You switch it with the sound of meme. So, muttaki'ina ala furushim ba. Furushim bata. Furushim. Just replace it with a meme sound. Furushim bata inuha ta. That is a long mad for harakat. Ha inuha mad asli. Min istabraqa. Qalqalah. Qaf at the end. Read it with a qalqalah bounce. وجنى الجنتين جنة مع الأصلي تيندان مع السكون. So متكئين على فرش بطائنها من استبرق. Oh sorry, I forgot to highlight this. Min istabraq, noon sakin with a clear sukun sign and meeting a hamza after that. Means what is that letter? Hamza is part of the throat letter. That means it is idhar. Read it without ghunna. Not min istabraq. Min istabraq. وجنى الجنتين دان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. Alright, that is our Tajweed Tuesday. So today we learned Ikhfa, and we've also dissected the Tajweed rules from ayat 46 to 55 of Surah Al-Rahman. I'll see you on Thursday for Tafsir Thursdays, inshaAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.